Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making. Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations.
Are you ready to engage in some powerful real estate fun? Because tickets are officially on sale for the HAR Engage Conference.
This year's conference promises an enlightening experience as industry leaders and experts unite to share their insights on the real estate industry, technology, and many other topics.
Whether you're just getting started in real estate in your real estate journey, or if you're a seasoned pro, HAR Engage has something for everyone. Plus, with countless networking opportunities, you connect with tons of like-minded real estate professionals.
So don't wait. Grab your tickets now before they sell out. Head over to har.com/engage to secure your spot at the hottest real estate event of the year. We can't wait to see you there.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, LarryWBrooks, a.k.a. the Texas Real Estate King. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can see the Pure Hustle merchandise that we had over there, some of our newer items that we have in stock, and of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
Good day. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't know on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, especially here in our lovely city of Houston, please reach out to me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. As always, it's an honor and be here with you live on Thursday here on the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I want to thank everyone that's checking us out live on YouTube and Facebook. Get involved in today's show. Leave myself and the Texas Real Estate King a relevant question in the comments section. And you never know, we may very well get your question answered on today's stream. Hey, man, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone over at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm and over at the Brooks & Davis Real Estate Training and Education Center, where I'm streaming from live today. I want to thank everybody over there on the team for everything that they do to assist to bring this show with you on a weekly basis. I want to take some time to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he's a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, and the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand. I want to thank him so much for sitting in with us today on the Prime Real Estate Network show. And I'd like to introduce to our audience, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. How you doing?
What up, Rick? No complaints, man. Just excited to be back on the show again. Excited to have another episode popping. I know we took a short break on last week just to kind of enjoy the end of August. And to get prepared for this super September that's taking place. So for everyone that I haven't had a chance to see, it's an honor and pleasure to be in front of you again. Make sure that you go ahead and like and subscribe. Please tell some friends about it, because today we got a superstar guest on, and I'm excited about it.
No, man, and it's good, man. I appreciate you mentioning, man, because, you know, last week was Labor Day weekend, the long weekend. You know, it's almost that transition from the third quarter to the fourth quarter of the business year, the transition from the summer to the fall. So it's really great to be here with you this week, man. So how was your long Labor Day weekend? What's been going on? And can you share what's going on in the world of the Texas Real Estate King?
Yeah, man, things have been good, man. You know, I had an opportunity prior to last week's episode was down in the Dallas area, DFW area. So that was kind of cool. I was down there for the Texas Real Estate Conference that we host during the going into the fall season. And so just being able to be down there, talking with other realtors, see what's going on in the business of what we do here in Texas real estate. And, you know, just being a part of the board of directors to, you know, help make the right decisions to continue to protect the licensees here in the state of Texas. So That was really, really good experience. I'll probably be sharing some more stuff as we go on throughout the months and everything, some things that have come about, some things that are going to be taking place. But man, that was exciting. Of course, you know, we football people around this house right here. So we started football season at Manville High School on last week. And one of the things that came along with that is that we decided the first game of the year was going to be Parents' Day. And so that was kind of cool, just kind of being on the field for a little bit with young LB. And, you know, we didn't come away with a victory on that day, but we did have an opportunity to know how great our team is. So, you know, as we move forward, we're excited about, you know, just continuing that high school football journey.
No, you know, it's nothing like Friday Night Lights. And it's amazing how there was a documentary showing some of the new players that played for the Texans in NFL. Yeah. And how they were going out and checking out their first Texas high school football games. Yeah. And even as professionals, they were shocked how big high school football is in the area. So, you know, big, huge shout out to all the guys over there playing for Manville, all the other high school football players here in the city. Yeah. They put so much into football season and Friday nights. So it's good that not only yourself and all the other fans can go out and support them every week, man. So that's a good thing.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
You know, one of the cool things about having this platform with you is that you get to introduce our audience to some of the most talented entrepreneurs, business people. We like to share best practices and just pretty much motivate and inspire everyone in the audience from a business perspective. So could you just share with our audience a little bit about this week's guest, how you were introduced, and how far back you guys' collaboration and experience working with each other goes?
Yeah. Well, you know me, Rick, man. I love being in rooms with other super entrepreneurs, people that are visionaries, people that find something that they're passionate about and create something bigger than that. So had an opportunity of just first watching this entrepreneur that's going to be on today from afar. Actually, a couple of our past guests, Mark, the insurance guy, Mark. He's done a few events. I had an opportunity of seeing today's guest at some of those events, following her on social media. Also, shout out to our last guest on the episode, Quincy, with People's Paparazzi. He did a great photo shoot for myself, which again, I did a Google review on yesterday. I'm just still amazed with the things that I've been able to do with the photos that he's given me, as well as the interview that I sat down and did with him. So shout out to him as a past guest. But with that being said, you know, the circles of entrepreneurships, like-minded people that are looking to grow their business, man, that's the kind of thing that I really enjoy being around. And this is one of those guests that we have today. And so that's how I originally was introduced to her, and just watching her move and watching her grow throughout this process, man.
So, man, appreciate you. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce this week's guest, man. She is one of Houston's foremost branding experts. She's an expert entrepreneur and mentor. I want to thank her so much for sitting in on the Prime Real Estate Network Live this week. And I'd like to introduce to our audience, Miss Erica Fisher. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you for sitting in. Appreciate you for taking some time out your schedule. I know how it is on Thursday. So, look, man, for those
you guys are the busy ones. I'm maxing and relaxing right now.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Brooks, we would be remiss if we didn't ask you, sir, how often do you conduct interviews while on the treadmill, sir?
You know what? Listen, this is the first for me, and I don't know why it is. I'm trying to, it's funny thing because you're trying to balance yourself out at the same time. But it's the first time for me doing it, and I think I'm just inspired, man. Because the thing about it is, once you follow Erica on social media, she's everything yoga too. So I think being inspired by her, I was like, you know what? Let me try something different with this motivated guest, this guest that actually takes her health very seriously, as well as the space of entrepreneurship. So that's why that was me trying this journey this time.
Now, Ms. Fisher, I must ask you, how inspiring is it to be interviewed by a host who's exercising during the interview as an homage to you and your personal fitness journey?
See? Now, I'm not that big into yoga. I kind of dibble and dab in a little bit. I am a very active person, but when I tell you I met him in the first 5 minutes, the competitiveness comes out. As soon as I said I worked out, it was an automatic foot race that needed to be had. Thank God I have a little injury, so I could tap out.
You're welcome.
Man,
But
I
yeah, as soon as I met him, I'm like, oh yeah, oh, you work
out?
out? You need to race me.
No, I thank you so much for sharing that story, Erica. Outside of your passion for fitness and wellness, could you introduce yourself to our audience, talk a little bit about your brand, your company, and what it is that you provide as far as goods and services to the community?
Well, first things first, thank you for having me. But to introduce myself, my name is Erica Fisher. I'm a Houston native and the owner and maker behind Bombay Brand. It is a self-care and overall, self-care company that also like dabbles in trying to create comforting atmospheres for people. The products that I provide are loungewear and what I like to call mood mending candles that I also hand make myself. So it's all about rest and relaxation and promoting positivity. So
now, have you always been a creative from that standpoint? Is this something that you've always had a passion for, or have you found that you've evolved from a holistic approach from like as you were younger to starting to see more of the value and more of a holistic lifestyle? What do you feel like was the main motivator that pushed you in the direction to build this type of brand?
I definitely grew into that. Now I've always been like I've always been like pushed to entrepreneurship. I'll say that. When I was 14 years old, I was the girl in class selling candy. I went from that to selling bracelets. I went from that. I had my first company was jewelry that I used to make. And then I kind of took a pause and I was just like in the workforce for a while. I got into this and I feel like it's the same with a lot of other entrepreneurs that COVID is what did it for me. Like the pandemic is what did it for me. I'm a flight attendant full time and trying to find peace of mind while flying, dealing with the pandemic, dealing with people going crazy at the same time. That's kind of what pushed me towards this particular niche.
No, Erica, real quick, when you when you think about when you were selling candy in school, what motivated you to do that? Was it, it just was a thing to do?
Not having to ask anybody for anything. Like, well, what I wanted. I didn't want to have to ask mom for the shoes, the clothes. I was going to buy them myself. I've always been like that. Now they would do it for me, but those couple of extra things, I was going to go get it. You're not going to tell me I can't have it.
That's funny because the reason why I ask is because most of the entrepreneurs, a large amount of entrepreneurs that we have come onto the platform always mention that journey of at one point selling candy. And I did it myself amongst things. So I always hear that and I'm just like, man, what was the excitement behind it? So it's great to hear that.
Yeah, it was definitely just wanting my own money, to be honest. I used to get the little $20 a week and I'm like, this is not going to do anything for my life. So I've always kind of had that passion.
One of the things about your brand and everything that's Bombay, you really do a great job of illustrating the value of having peace of mind, you have that synergy between mind, body, and spirit. Do you feel that you've become more of an advocate for those things due to what you do professionally as a flight attendant? Because I don't think a lot of times they talk about the stress related to that particular occupation. So could you enlighten our audience? Because Larry, myself, and so many members of the entrepreneurial community spend so much time traveling that sometimes during the to and fro, we may not necessarily value what goes into actually having an occupation like yours. So could you just share a little bit and enlighten our audience from that standpoint?
Well, I mean, being a flight attendant is rewarding. You get to meet great people. You do meet a couple crazies here and there, but that's in everything you do in life. But with the job itself, you're on the go so much that you can't really find like a way to wind down, I guess. You don't really have that peace of mind that you would get if you're coming home from 9 to 5, going to your own bed. You're sleeping in strange hotels. You're around random people all of the time, and working crazy hours. So it is kind of hard to like just find time to like wind down, center yourself. And if you let it, it will drive you crazy. To be honest, like mental health is a big thing in the field. They've had plenty of flight attendants commit suicide, I hate to say. But you think because you're surrounded by so many people all the time that you don't have like this feeling of like loneliness or like the need to be around people. But at the end of the day, yes, you're with passengers, customers, you're seeing people all day long. But once you get to the hotel room, it's just you, and sometimes you're gone for days at a time. And sometimes like your working hours to where you're not in contact with your family because they're up during the day. You're up at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I wish you would call somebody at that time of night trying to have a conversation. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what made me focus on more of the like the mental health aspect, the self-care aspect, like reinforcing that and trying to push that, because I don't think it's something we get so wrapped up in the day-to-day life, moving, especially being Americans. I know it's like that, everywhere else people are busy, but here where we have that culture of, don't take any downtime. It's hustle.
No days off. Rest when you die. All of that stuff. Yeah.
Lazy, type of thing. But you do need to take that time for yourself in order just to operate, in day-to-day life. So peacefully.
No, and I appreciate you so much for your transparency and candor, because I do feel like that part of what you do tends to be underreported and undervalued. So I appreciate sharing that part with our audience. And it brings me back to your line of products, because the passion for what you do is obvious for those who are in our audience seeing this interview. But I feel like one of the true examples of that passion is that your candles are handmade. You mentioned that earlier, but could you go into a little bit about what motivated you from that standpoint to be so hands-on with your products? Because you could have easily white labeled this, reached out to a manufacturer, came out with a
well, with that being said, I think I think what Rick was just trying to get. I think what Rick was trying to get to. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on that? Instead of doing it, what decided you to be more hands-on with the process of it?
Well, I've always been hands-on with everything. I just like to make things. I've always been like a DIY person, and that's probably where all my money goes to. All my money has gone to in the past. That's how I ended up doing jewelry. How I ended up making bracelets, all that stuff. So, what drove me to hand make was basically to know what was going into my products. I'll go out and source everything. I know that it's non-toxic. I know that's a big issue for a lot of candles. I didn't want anything that was headache inducing, anything that had too much fragrance in it, because it can cause asthma attacks. It can cause headaches. And I don't want to put anything out that's going to harm somebody. Like I want something that I would have in my own home. So that's pretty much why I decided to just hand make it instead of just trusting someone else to do it for me. Because I feel like people cut corners a lot. Not to say everybody does. There are people out there that, put people's wellness and well-being first, but you just never know. So I would rather just source it myself and kind of just figure it out that way. Plus, I feel like it's you put a little bit of extra love into it when you're doing it yourself, So,
and like you said, I think it's a part of your therapy. You actually putting those together too, like right, just like the relaxation. Well, not relaxation, but the therapy that goes behind it. Yes, indeed. How many different flavors do you? Flavors make sense.
People kill. Okay, this is big with men. Men always say flavors. They are scents, not flavors.
I know.
I just had a conversation with somebody because they want me to actually wholesale to them, but it was the same thing. They were like, okay, you got all these flavors. Which flavors are the best? I'm like, they are scents. They're not flavors. But so right now, I want to say I have about seven or eight. I am in the process. So I started off with a core collection. And that was the smoked brandy scented one, the Prosecco scented one. The one is like good vibrations, and that is like sage and citrus, a little more like a fresher scent. But then I started adding a few others because I know a lot of us, when we start a business, we do things that are tailored to us, what we like. So I had to start putting out stuff that other people like too, not just me, So I like your more woodsy kind of sense, whereas a lot of people are like floral or fruity or whatever. So I had to start putting out different things and just trying different scents to see what people like a test market. I say that, like a test, put it out, see what they like.
Yeah. So what was the flavor? Because see, I'm a basic guy, but I don't know how. I'm finna say this, and I'm finna figure out what categories it falls in. So what category does vanilla fall in?
That would be, I say that's like in more of your like woodsy kind of area. Yeah. Oh, you like vanilla? That's what you prefer?
I do. Vanilla is it's my go-to because it's just like it doesn't make me sneeze because it's kind of like you said. Sometimes you got certain fragrances that so it's real mild. I don't feel overwhelmed. I can take it in and I like it. That's my go-to.
Yeah, I like vanilla. That's my favorite too. Like if I bought something from somebody else, that's usually what it is. So
okay. So which one of yours is closer to vanilla? Because I need y'all to go get that. If y'all want to give me a gift, October's coming around. I need y'all to go to the shop and I need you to give me this candle flavor she's about to get ready to give you. What's the closest to vanilla?
All right. So right now, the regular candles don't have vanilla in them, but I do make a candle, specialty candle once a year. It's usually fall, winter, and it's a body butter candle. It's like body butter massage oil candle. So you can either use it as body butter or the back end. If you burn it, you can use it as oil and put it on the same way. So, but it's like oud wood and vanilla. And that's a scent that I made. That was actually my very first candle that I put out. My very first scent that I put out.
Look at here. Hey, so y'all guests that are watching this show, as my birthday arrives, y'all make sure y'all go and make that special request for that right there for your boy. And it's appreciated.
Yeah, that one will be out next month.
Next month. And it's rolling into October with my birthday. What can I tell you?
Oh, okay.
You know, Eric, I appreciate you all being able to hold it down while I had that technical difficulty. But I wanted to make sure. Going. No, I appreciate that. It's so funny because I could hear you all, so you definitely kept the beat rolling. But I want to make sure we ask you this before the end of our interview because there's so many business owners that sit in a seat that you may have sat in maybe a year, 2, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So could you please share with them a little bit about your background and upbringing? Were there any members of your family that were entrepreneurs or business owners? You spoke about how you always had that passion to provide for yourself and actually get out there and bring in money. When you think back and reflect, what were some of your earlier influence from a family perspective?
Okay, so I find it kind of strange that I feel like when I was younger, there was nobody that actively had a business. I would say that. I found out once I got a little bit older, my grandfather, which believe me, I heard a million stories about, but my grandfather owned a gas station and a body shop. And then if I'm remembering correctly, I believe it was my great grandmother that owned a bar out in New Jersey. She had her own restaurant bar. My grandfather has always inspired me. Like I said, initially, I don't know where it came from. I think it was just that hunger to have something of my own, to be honest. But growing up, more and more, the more I heard about my grandfather's story, that pushed me to continue to be on that journey until I found out what was actually for me. I tried a few things until I kind of finally found my niche. But yeah, he passed in December, but that is somebody that I always looked up to. He always did his own thing on his own terms. He was the hustler of the family. So that's something I always aspired to do, aspired to have, just be able to live my life on my own terms, I guess. So that's a big part of it for me.
No, thank you so much for sharing because, you know, one of the great things that Larry and I enjoy about hosting this particular show is that every week we have opportunity to interview and pick the brain of so many talented business owners. Yeah. And you start to see a similar thread in background. You and Larry share the candy, the candy foundational sales background. And as you go back and you reflect on some of these interviews, you see so many entrepreneurs like yourself think about grandparents, parents, uncles, and aunts. So I want to make sure I share with our audience to continue your entrepreneurial journey because you're serving as an example for so many generations that you may not understand that you're touching. So I want to thank you for what it is that you do. because I'm sure there's so many young people that look at you as an inspiration, as a motivator as well. And to bring up what Larry was talking about as far as his candle scent for October, will there be any opportunities between now and October 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th to meet, greet, and interact with you, Erica, so that everybody in our audience can pick up the candle scent of their preference? And for those who want to get a birthday gift for Larry, they can do that as well.
Yes. So just so happens I have an event this Saturday at the popular Houston Heights Hotel. Let me see how you say it. I'm sorry, because I don't want to mess up the name. It is the Heights House Hotel.
Yeah.
I got to get it together. Got to straighten it out. It is, so the event coordinators over it are called Spiritual Nerds. They put on events 2-3 times a month, I believe. But yeah, you can come out, shop, local vendors, eat, drink, and just relax. Everything's poolside. So I think it'll be a nice event to attend. Like, even if you're just browsing or just want to see what people have to offer, it's a nice opportunity to get out. So, and that'll be this Saturday from 12 to 5.
You know, I've been to the Houston Heights House. I think that it's an amazing event space. Well, it's a hotel, but it's also an event space. So yes, if you have not had an opportunity to go and see one of our gyms that we have in the Houston area, this is a great time, especially getting an opportunity to network and also go out there and support some more small businesses. And so speaking of that, Erica, when you think about because I know you find your way to these events quite often, how do you get the invitations, or how do you get on the list to be one of the preferred vendors at these different opportunities?
So there will be times, like, if you have social media and you're putting a product out there, sometimes people will come to you. I've made it a point to actually go out and look for events recently. So I'll either go on Google, I'll hop on there and just Google local vendor events in the area. And you can just apply. Like, Black Market is a great one. They have plenty of events. I think they go under Shop Black on Instagram. Spiritual Nerds, that's a good one as well. I think that's about 7 people that kind of put events together, and they have tons of vendors that come out as well. Not just product based, but also chiropractors and, just, anyone looking to put their business out, get their business name out. But yeah, mostly I honestly go and do the legwork and search for the events. Or if I know, honestly, I will go to other vendors and ask them as well. Like, I don't mind. I'll just strike up a conversation. Sometimes I'll purchase something for them to support their company as well. And then I'll ask them a little information on the side. I don't go straight into it like, oh, how did you get the information on this event? But I do kind of like slowly slide into that conversation. Oh, I also sell products. How do you get into these events? So there's always a way. And like I say, Google is your best friend.
You know what? I thank you for sharing that, Jim, because, a lot of times, especially us in the entrepreneur space, and when we're first getting started, especially when we have a product, we may be mainly online focused, but initially getting that product out in front of people and getting some immediate cash flow really comes from, being a part of some of the vendor booth areas that people have going on. And I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we don't know how to, formulate those conversations. So I appreciate you just sharing that, because to me, that's important, because even me, I struggle with that sometimes, just figuring out, okay, how do I find the right type of vendor event that might be for my product, the items that I have. So you just being able to help answer that, I'm pretty sure not only helped out myself, but helped several other entrepreneurs getting started out in this space as they're thinking about that too.
If I could send like a soft message out to like product-based businesses, get in markets as soon as you can. I waited years and I shouldn't have. Like, when I tell you, I could have made so much progress. Yeah, I've made 10 times the progress in this year than I have in the past 3 years. That's crazy to me. So my thing is like, get out and put your product in front of people as soon as you can. I also held myself back in the beginning, and it was probably just fear of like how people were going to receive it. Maybe in the beginning, I really didn't even tell my family. My mom knew, my brother, my sister knew, but like, as far as cousins, like, tell everybody you can. Get your name out, tell them about your business, even if they don't buy something. I have people that they may not be into candles, but they know somebody that is. or they may not be into loungewear, but they know somebody that is, or somebody that's looking for a gift or something. So just get your products out in front of people. I mean, it can sound a little scary. I have these conversations even when I'm at events with people that say, oh, you know, I sell soaps or I sell this or that, and I just don't think I'm ready. You're never ready. You're never going to be ready. Get on YouTube, see what you need for your vendor event, and put your products out and be done with it. That's all you can do. So
that's a fact. Yep.
No, I agree totally, man. I urge everyone in our audience to take your advice, follow you on social media. Eric, I want to make sure you have opportunity to share all your contact info with the audience. So could you share Instagram handles, websites, contact info so that everybody can tap in with you and become a part of your movement?
All right. So first things first, my personal Instagram is at Erica Trynae. That's ERICATRYNAE. Then my business is also connected to that profile, but that is going to be a Shop Bombay brand, and that's Shop BOMBAE brand. And then the website is bombaybrand.com, spelled the same way, BOMBAE brand.com. So
where did that name come from? How did you come up with that name?
It actually came from a small town that my grandfather lived in California. My grandfather was that off the grid kind of guy. Yeah. Stayed in Coachella City, California, and outside of Coachella City, California. Yeah. About an hour out in the middle of the desert. It's a small community that used to thrive years ago, but it's kind of like just desert now. But honestly, it was just like I love visiting him, and people might not think as much because you're out in the middle of nowhere, but that was like my place of peace. Yeah. So that's kind of why I decided to name it Bombay Brand, because it kind of had the same.
That's a good, that's a good strong name. I like that. Never thought about it. That's good. Okay.
Yeah. It's not spelled the same as the city was spelled, but I had to put a little twist on it to make it work.
We always do. We always got to make the we got to have our personal flow to it.
Well, mine was more of a filing issue because that wasn't available. You know, there's a million Bombay everything's out here. So, but yeah.
Okay.
No, thank you so much, Erica, for sitting in with us. You always have a seat with Larry and myself. We're going to definitely follow the brand, follow your movement. If there's any events that's ever coming up in the future, please reach out to Larry and myself. We'd love to get everyone in the audience out. I want to urge everyone in our audience to follow you on Instagram. Come out to your event on Saturday from 12 to 5. And thank you so much, Queen, for spending some time with us on a Thursday. And we look forward to speaking with you again in the future.
Thank you. Have a great one.
You too. Bye. Hey, look, man. Hey, man, great interview, man. She was a very bomb guest, man. I really had a great time speaking with her. I want to give you a huge shout out, Larry. You've made it for 32 minutes in a row on the treadmill. So let this be an example to the Prime Real Estate Network audience. The U.S. Surgeon General said we all should get a half an hour exercise every day. So now everybody knows when you're on the treadmill, the elliptical, the stair climber, or whatever you use to stay physically fit. Go to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube, smash the like, / the subscribe, share, and check out an episode today with the Texas Real Estate King and myself, Ric Davis. Mr. Brooks, what's going on this weekend in the world of the Texas Real Estate King, brother?
Hey, man, not much. I'm a football guy, so I'll be participating for football on Friday. But I actually may roll down to the DFW area and check out the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks as they play against North Texas. So I might be in the Dallas area. So if you're in DFW, just a little known fact, we've just started a Brooks and Davis brand down there. So we'll be in the process of really growing. We have a couple of agents that are in the community in DFW. So if you're looking to be licensed with some of the things that you've seen, or if you like some of the things that you've seen us put out there, some of the energy that we put out there, please feel free to reach out to me, 281-924-4954. Love to give you some more insight on what we've been doing for the last 16 years that have allowed us to be so successful and profitable at the Brooks and Davis brand. And of course, Prime Real Estate Network is a strong backing of everything that's going on. And so that team, Rick and his team, is looking to grow. And so with that being said, we definitely want an opportunity to meet with more people, meet with like-minded people, meet with people that may be in the real estate space and just don't know how to grow their business, looking for a team to be a part of. Listen, we got the right place. We got the right team for you. So you want to be able to plug in and tap into it. So that's what I got going on, Rick. Again, shout out to everybody that's out there doing their thing, man. I'm excited. And listen, we're in Houston, Texas. Let's go.
I know, man. Subscribe to the channel, share, go to Brooks and Davis TV, subscribe and share. On behalf of myself, Ric Davis, we want to thank you for sitting in with us. Check us out next week at this same time. I want to give a huge shout out to the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry Brooks. I want to thank our guest this week, Miss Erica Fisher. Until next week at the same time, everyone in our audience, please be safe and be blessed.
Bless.